When looking at America's economics and the things that they believe in and things that Americans invest their money in, you would generally think that America would be in a better position than it is today, right? And then when you look at America as a whole, as of the people, the need, and then you look at America's debt, you know, I'm an American, I work here, I go to school here, even though I wasn't born here, I'm an American, and I want my people to succeed as a whole. Not just individuals like Bill Gates or other American inventors or just people in general. As a whole, I would like Americans to be more united. And this is my reason being. You can correct me if I'm wrong anytime, but America's health system, healthcare, to me, I feel like America's not trying to keep their Americans alive. Because they make everything so complicated, everything so hard, or everything so expensive. And expensive to me is, when you have to pay between $40 to $60 as a going to a doctor to get, because your throat's been itchy or your head's been hurting or, your back's been bothering you or you've been throwing up or whatever your ailment is. But, to get some, professional help, you have to pay a certain amount. And me being below middle class right now with 3 children, you know, it is not something that you come by a lot, $40 or $60 to go and see a doctor. So you pull it off a lot. So some Americans don't go because they can't afford it. So coming back to my opinion on why I think Americans don't want the Americans to be alive is because they don't support health systems. You have Canada or Europe on the other hand where healthcare is free, you know, and you would think, okay, well, how would that help the the country as a whole? Well, for one, they enjoy being there. When you're happy, you do your best work is when you're happy. So there is not a lot of limitations in those countries where healthcare or other things that are, restricted here that are free there. So going back onto why I think America should be working more towards their people is because they're making it so rough for the American people. You know, if you think about it, like as you have your military and then you have your prison systems. The prison systems are that is a business on its own. It's just another avenue of making money. But America's making so-called so much money in its country in its own that it shouldn't be in debt, right? You would think so, And then we want to be mad at the president because the president, people have whatever reasons they don't like or whoever, whatever they choose to do for Barack Obama, but he is an American, voted by Americans. Most of them, between the ages of 18 and 35. That's saying something. Anyways, my point really is the persuasion of trying to get Americans to be more focused on Americans. Ain't nothing wrong with helping other people out. I totally get it. But let's help Americans. They always have things on TV in regards to UNICEF or other disasters or the American Red Cross and just other people with their disasters and you look at them and be like, yeah, wow. But I was watching NBC news on NBC the other day and they were talking about people in Iraq or in Iran, them terrorists. Well, we have terrorists in this country. There are terrorists in America that's terrorizing other Americans. But we focus a lot of attention on trying to get somebody else's war, somebody else's misfortunes regulated and not concentrating on our own. You know how many unhealthy children or homeless children there is in America, or children that don't have a parent or a significant parent that was making a significant difference in their life. You don't really, it's really low. So, again, I think Americans should support Americans. I don't care if you're, Hispanic or Hispanic American or whatever, but if you're living in this country or, you're a part of this, great American history of yours, because Americans ain't American. Americans ain't American because it really started somewhere else. So let's not be technical about that. But Americans helping Americans, I think, is really important. Us investing in education for our children. You know, instead of cutting or increasing taxes on something, let's invest in something that's going to be beneficial for our children or our grandchildren, whatever. But right now, we're taking it away from them. There's this big debate about why marijuana should be legal, or why there should be, legalization for marijuana. There's a few states that there's legal. It's legal in those states, but if it is for recreational or medical use, but it's legal. But of course, the federal government is seeing as, being a narcotic and being against the law. So there, you cannot make profits off of marijuana. Yeah, in your state you can, from moving to state or selling, or, however it is going on in the state of revenues for, the growers, the sellers, the economy as its own, because they're investing in their own economy. And I think that's a great thing. You know, I think that's a great thing that some cancer patients, epilepsy, patients with epilepsy and sickle cell, lupus, seizures, Alzheimer's, certain strands of dementia, you know, they all are, they all will be it will be beneficial for the people that are diagnosed or suffering from those diseases to be able to have marijuana, in their life, if it is in drinking or eating or smoking or, in pills or in inhaler, however, if, people are profiting from it or for helping for them, that's on them. But I think that'll be something that, just like it will be profitable for, not how it is just for that community or for that state, but if if America could just be on the same page of wanting to be able to make a profit and help its people, they should start with that. It's hard for me to understand if you can have something it could possibly get over $18 billion of revenue for, or, if it was taxable, that could be something that could be going back into the communities. If it's as simple as, giving the teachers a raise, because those are the teachers are who is teaching our children, and they are not really happy in the job that they're doing because they don't get recognized, and people don't talk good things about teachers. So again, it is important for Americans to help Americans. Legalization of marijuana is just a part of it. It would not only would it have, beneficial medically or, making money off of it, but crimes will go down. The law enforcement could be actually really paying attention to the things that's going on, like who's stealing this social security number from this person to start another bank account. Instead of having all these task force of trying to get somebody to stop smoking marijuana or selling marijuana. When you look at the statistics, it's kind of self-answering, but I'm not the only one who's looking at these charts or looking at this news. Other Americans are looking at it too. But I guess not everybody has a voice or has something to say about that subject. So it's up to the American again to help another American. So I would, of course, you can't just look at it as, oh yeah, everything is so good about, having free health care, or, legalizing marijuana, legalizing prostitution, or, or, whatever benefits you look into. But another American helping another American, I think that is very important. And I feel like we should start doing it today. Another American is, not just saying, that, African American, or, whatever descent it is. I feel like here as a community, my neighbor might be from Brazil. But that doesn't, let's make him my neighbor just because where he's from. And when I'm saying another American helping another American, just another person helping another person. Doesn't necessarily have to be an American, but you should start by that in a whole. And you should really think about that when we make a decision on the next person that we vote for, or the next person that's going to be the judge, or the next person that's going to be the state prosecutor, U.S. attorney, however. It's, certain things that we should think about as Americans. That is important to us. Thank you for listening, and I hope I didn't confuse you too much, but it was set on my heart because it is really hard for single parents to make it happen, and I always try to do the next right thing for the next best thing. So, thank you for listening.